Hi, this is Faith, and you are watching The Faith Factor. Holla.
All right. Good morning. Good Saturday morning to everyone. This is Faith, and you are watching The Faith Factor, and I'm your humble host, Faith. And I am just having a little morning fun, a little morning chit chat for you guys. Want to come up in here, a Saturday morning. Who was up all night Friday night partying? Who was up all night Friday night just kicking it? And you're still in the bed and you're listening to me while you're in the bed, or you're sitting at your breakfast table. You're just kicking back, chilling. I love Saturdays. Saturdays are fun days. Saturdays are days that you kind of want to, make family time. Friday night, that's for, partying, clubbing, whatever you like to do. But Saturday, that's that kickback time, especially Saturday morning. I remember being a kid and I couldn't wait for Saturday morning because I didn't have to go to school. I had Saturday morning cartoons, and my mother would be in the kitchen. She would be making breakfast. So Saturdays have always, like ever since I was a kid, Saturdays have always been my shits, right? So, I wanted to come up and I wanted to kind of share, my Saturday morning nostalgia with you guys. So I see Kareem the trucker. He's the first person in the chat room. Welcome, brother. Thank you so much for being an early bird. And thank you so much for the $10 super chat right off the back. Hey, brother. I like that. I like that. Right. Shout out to Kareem. And so let me go ahead and read his comment. He says, "Good morning. Thank you for having me on the platform. No problem. No problem. I enjoy interacting with all my guests that come up here on the panel. You guys offer perspectives a lot of times that I don't even think of. So that's the reason why I do like to interact with the people in my chat room and have you up on the panel, because the discussions are actually more complete when you have more people offering their sides of things, differing opinions. I don't like places that are an echo chamber. I really don't. I like places that are, filled with different types of people, different types of perspectives and personalities. Even if someone doesn't agree with me. See, this is the thing, and this is the reason why I have the Better Class of Woman series. And Commendable K talks about a better class of people in general. We need a good class of people so that we can be able to interact with each other, have these types of conversations without, it turning into a brawl or, somebody yelling and screaming. Yesterday, once again, my relationship, my platform came under attack. Same people. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to eventually have to discipline myself and just stop responding to the negativity, because it is taken away from me. It's taken away from what I'm trying to do, and it filters over into a lot of things. It filters over even into your personal life. And so, I got to learn to just ignore people that are hating, because I realize that there are people on here where this sort of thing, the going back and forth, the beefing, this is content for them, and they're looking for people that they can feed off of to keep their platforms going. So, and I've been knew this but I went ahead and I took, the bait anyway. I took the bait anyway. Um, I'm going to start taking my own advice, and that is you can't control anyone else. The only person that you can control is yourself and how you respond to a situation. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I am, because it's taxing. It takes a toll on the people that you love and the people that care about you. And I have a lot of people that have shown me how much they care and how much they're in my corner. My man, my boyfriend, Commendable K, has really been standing in the gap for me, and he took a lot of hits, because people wanted to attack the relationship, and they wanted to see if he would be a weak link. My man is not a weak link. You will never ever be able to get under his skin or attack his resolve in any way. He is very secure and solid in the man that he is. The same way that I'm very secure and solid in the woman that I am. But people will try anyway. I really wanted to send a shout out to Dita Rail as well. Dita Rail was also up on this person's platform, who I will not name. And when they were sitting up there trying to defend, it was a man this time, trying to defend some of the people that he felt needed to be defended. And Dita Rail, has always been a good friend and in my corner. And I've been knowing him for a number of years. You know, so when you have people that are in your corner, it is a blessing. It definitely is. I remember I went through something like this about maybe 6 years ago, and I was completely alone. I didn't have any help. So, I just want to say how it feels so good to have people in your corner. I had people coming out and stepping up and speaking out on my behalf that I didn't even know was in my corner. Danini and Warren being one of those people. When I was on Reg the Bad Guy, I was really shocked and surprised, to see people that I hadn't even really interacted with that much, standing up and speaking out. So, I wanted to say I appreciate everyone. Business Minded Talk, Black Male Talk TV. If you don't know him, he is also another man that I've known for years. Just like I said, I'm just really humbled by all of the support that I've been getting. Mahogany Roots and MJ, she came out and she stood on a square for a sister. So I just wanted to come out here and just say I just appreciate all the love and all the support that I've been getting, because I've always had to do things on my own, and I've always had to be strong by myself. And you just don't know how good it feels to know that you have people that care about you, to know that you have people that's in your corner and that you're not by yourself. So I just wanted to say thank you to each and every person. And I love all of you, every single one of you. Um, like I said, I went through, oh goodness, I'm getting emotional. I went through a really, really tough situation with my adult child um, going on 3 years ago. And I just want you to know that depression is real and it can cause someone that you thought you knew to change overnight. I like literally, the person can go from being just completely fine to being somebody that you don't recognize anymore. And I want you guys to start looking out for the signs that a loved one could be going through something, because it will come out sometimes with aggression. And that's what it was manifesting itself in my daughter. It was coming out as aggression, and I didn't understand it. But we're not trained therapists. We're not trained psychologists. So, I'm just thankful that I was able to find out what was happening with her. Like I said, it took something tragic to happen for us to get to that point. Thank you, Kareem. Kareem also says, when you're doing something right, Miss Faith, someone will always stand with you and for you. Thank you. Good morning, HM. But here's the thing. When you have a family member that is exhibiting something like deep depression, you have to really talk to them, try to get to the bottom as fast as you can as to what is happening, and try to seek help immediately before things get to a point where it's really, really bad and you're having these fights and confrontations. Because if it goes ignored, and if you just don't catch the signs early, it can blow up into something terrible like it did in my situation. Now me, I'm a truck driver, so I'm always in and out the house. I'm over the road for days at a time, so it's very difficult for me during that time to try to catch that situation, because I'm not really here like that. And plus, I'm dealing with an adult child. So I'm thinking that she's conducting her business as an adult. And, I'm pretty much, the type of parent that I'm not really trying to pry into my child's business. Like I said, with that boyfriend, I jumped in between them in that situation because he was being abusive. But when he was out of the picture, that's when things became more clear as to why there was so much fighting in the house. Because, like I said, I thought it was just him, and it was also her. And it didn't become apparent to me until the anger and the vitriol turned on me and my grandson, and I eventually ended up having to step in. Didn't step in the best way. I can definitely hold the L for how I handled the situation. But I'm thankful because out of the situation, out of the being assigned to go to family counseling and everything else, it came out that she had this deep depression. And I'm thankful for the family counseling, for helping us, and for putting her on a path of getting better and being independent again. So, out of every bad situation, it depends on how you, once again, handle it. There can be some good that comes out of it. If neither she nor I were open, to going through the process of healing and going through the process of getting the family treatment, we would both never had recovered from this, because I was angry. I was pretty damn angry for even being put in the situation in the first place. So, therapy and counseling, I can't stress to you enough how important that is. And when my man came along, he came along after all of that happened, and he was very supportive, because by the time he came, I was going through my anger management and DV and stuff like that, and he helped me, focus on my hobbies and different things that I want to do. Like, I like to paint. I like to do YouTube. So he helped to keep me centered, and he helped to distract me. We would collaborate together and come up with different ideas for content. And he's a beautiful person, a beautiful human being, and I am thankful to have him in my life. So, when you see people that you love and you care about being attacked, it's kind of hard for you not to say something. Just like I know it's hard for him not to say something when he sees me being attacked. That's the reason why he ran up on that platform yesterday, because they were attacking me and saying things about me. And when I saw them, trying to attack him and say things about him, it made me mad, because he's somebody that I care about. The people that you care about, um, you're going to defend them no matter what. You're going to defend them because you love them and you care about them. Air Black TV says our children are going to always need the parents' help until they are totally independent and self-sufficient. It doesn't matter their age. Plus, it may never come. This is the understanding of family. Exactly. As parents, you're supposed to be there as a support system for your adult children. You're not supposed to be there as how can I say, their complete and utter support. Once your children become adults, you're supposed to be pushing them towards independence, and you're supposed to take on more of an advisory role. Now, people fall on hard times. Like I said, when COVID hit, my daughter and the guy that she was with, they fell on hard times. So, of course, when hard times come, you help your loved ones. My daughter is welcome to come and stay with me and get on her feet and get that push that she needs to get back out there. Everybody needs help sometimes. So, I don't get down on people that need temporary help from their parents from time to time, because I've had to go back home and get my stuff together, and I got right back out there into the rat race, back on my feet. But my parents, I didn't look at them as having to take care of me for the rest of the days that they have left on the earth, because I'm younger than my parents. My parents deserve to have their time to themselves after they have sacrificed and made many different they done so much sacrificing for me and my sister and my brother. So it's unfair for me as an adult to expect them to continue to take care of me past a certain age. Now, I feel like when you hit 22, 23, 24, 25, you should be pushing for independence. It's far too long to be in your parents' house talking about laying up on them, especially if you don't have a plan, especially if you're not going to school, especially if you're not saving any money, especially if you're not trying to learn a trade, especially if you're not trying to start a business, but you're just in your parents' house like a pet. My children never did that to me. That's called taking advantage. And it's also called being entitled. I never did it to my parents. I never took advantage of my parents, and I was not entitled, thinking that my parents were supposed to take care of me for the rest of my life. But you have some parents that actually lean on their children, and that they will actually stunt their children's growth. So they don't encourage their children to get out there and make something of themselves. They sit up there and they won't give their children options for how they can succeed in life. There's a difference between parenting and helping a child work towards independence. And then there's a difference between enabling your child not to work towards anything in life. So you have no plans for your child, and your child has no plan for themselves. That's not acceptable, people. And as a group, we got to get away from that. Like, I hear a lot of people talking about you can't push the kids out before they're ready. But here's the thing, there's nothing wrong with your kids getting ready, but the key words is getting ready. If they're in your house and they're not working towards a purpose, then they're not getting ready for independence. And it doesn't take 10 years for them to do it either. It did not take me a decade to work towards independence. It didn't take my brother a decade. It didn't take my son a decade. It didn't take any of my daughters a decade. So we as Black people got to be realistic with ourselves about what we're doing with our kids. Some of you are lonely, and your children are your companions. And you stunt their growth because you don't want them to go anywhere. And that's just some of you. So you're perfectly fine getting up, going to work, and as long as you got somebody to come home to, you're perfectly fine. Right, Kareem? Kareem says, unfortunately, too many Black people do not plan for our children. No savings for them, no life insurance, no business to work in or take over or teach them life management. And even if, because I know a lot of Black parents, a lot of us are working poor. Even if you just teach your child how to manage money, how to save money, that right there is a plan. But not having any plan at all is unacceptable. So if you're poor and you can't afford to set anything to the side, at least teach your children the basics on how to handle money, how to pay bills, and how to set aside something. Give them options on what they can do to catapult themselves into a much better position than what you're in, so that there will not be any generations of poverty. So if you don't have it like that, if you don't have the money, at least have a plan. If you don't have the money, if you have the money, at least set aside something for your children, a bank account, insurance. And if you have even more money than that, if you have a business, have that set aside and teach your children the business. But at whatever stage you are, social economically, you have to have a plan for your children to be independent, no matter what stage you are at. Don't just throw up your hands and say, oh, well, we poor. And us poor folks ain't got nothing, and these kids, they got it hard. So what I'm gonna do, since I ain't got no money and no savings, you can just sit here and you can lay up on me, and I'll go to work. And when I die, I'm gonna leave you this little rack shack of mine that I can barely afford to keep up. I've seen Black people do that. It doesn't work, by the way. Because what I've seen is you go out, you work your entire lives, you pay off your house, and you die with your 40, 50-year-old child in your house who has never worked, who doesn't know the first thing about sacrifice, who doesn't know the first thing about how to handle anything. And I've seen the things that people have left to these lazy kids go to waste, because people did not teach their children anything. You did everything for them. Yeah, Arab Black, we've been affected really bad mentally as a group. And it's time that we change our mentality about a lot of stuff. Now, if somebody's like in their mid 40s and 50s talking about, trying to, make a change and all that. No, if you're in your mid 40s and 50s, just, save for your retirement, get out the way, and don't be a burden on your kids. And just teach your kids how to manage money, how to save, and and give them options on how they can be better than you. That's the best advice I can give you, because if you're 40, in your late 40s and 50s, and you're poor, ain't shit that you can do. You're starting out way too late. Just make sure that you don't pass that laziness and that lack of drive down to your children. And we got to be honest with ourselves so that we can be honest with our kids. Hey, I failed in life. I didn't save nothing. I didn't build nothing. And I didn't aspire to be nothing. And you be honest with them and tell them, don't be like that. You don't go down the same road I went down, because look at me. I'm struggling now. Be honest. That's one thing about our community that I cannot stand, is the dishonesty of the elders. We have so many elders who have failed the generations after them by lying. So it starts right there. It starts with accepting the truth. It starts with taking accountability. And it starts with telling the next generation the honest to God truth as to why you're in the failing position you're in now. Because see, what I see is a lot of old folks more concerned about saving face, more concerned about rationalizing why they are the way they are. that they don't tell the next generation, I fucked up, I failed, don't do like I do. That's also the big problem, Kareem. See, you can't show anybody anything and you can't teach anybody anything if you are living a lie and you're in complete denial about your own situation. And that goes for both men and women in this community. Ear Black says if we're talking about kids, we're talking about the parents. Kids can't be blamed for anything. Sometimes the parents was kids themselves mentally. So the kids was already set back. Yeah, that's true. That is true. But once again, once you become in your mid 40s and 50s, you're not a kid anymore. And I see people in their mid 40s and 50s still making excuses for the dumb mistakes they made when they were kids. Can we just be honest and talk about that? Can we just be honest and talk about how people never grow up in their mentality, even after they are well past being a kid? Now, I can understand that we had some people that messed up and had kids young. Okay, we all mess up. We all, make mistakes in life. But it's the unwillingness to acknowledge those mistakes and say, I fucked up, that's really, really messed up with the older generation. Kareem the trucker says, yes, a lot of the older generation would say we had a roof over our head and clothes on our backs, so we was okay, which I understand, but we have to move forward for the next generation to do better. That's exactly, Kareem, that is exactly what I'm talking about. And I've heard them say that too. I've heard them say things like, yeah, well, I had to, struggle and I had to do this and I had to do that and you can do it too. Like I've heard the older generation say stuff like this to the younger generation. And that is passing down a poverty mindset. And that's something that we got to change. We got to change our mentality and how we deal with the younger generations. We got to stop being so concerned with saving and preserving our own bruised egos and not wanting to acknowledge that we fucked up somewhere along the lines. And that's the reason why some of us are in the position that we're in. And this even translates into my Better Class of Woman series. You have so many Black women that are running around here and they were 304s when they were in their 20s, or even, they were, a little bit wayward when they were younger for different reasons, because they were messed with, because there were older men in the community overly sexualizing them while they were young, and they carried that over into their 20s. And instead of them saying, you know what, I was young and I was led astray, I was messed with, I wasn't taught any better. Instead of saying things like that and teaching the younger generation of women not to go down that route and protecting them, I see a lot of women in the older generation making excuses for their behavior and their continued behavior. Because some of them are in their mid 40s and 50s continuing the behavior of not being so ladylike and passing it down to their daughters and telling their daughters that they can do no wrong, passing down bad advice to their daughters that they could conquer the world with their vagina, that they can defer to that if they need to have something to fall back on, because that's all they know. That's all they know. And so it goes back to, you can't teach what you don't know, but at the same time, you won't know unless you're willing to acknowledge and accept some things that happen in your life. If you're still not acknowledging and accepting that some of the things that happened to you when you were young were not right, then you're not going to be able to teach your daughters that it wasn't right, because you have not acknowledged or accepted for yourself. There are a lot of women that had their ass in a crack at one point in time, where they were going to be evicted. They found themselves in situations where they were going to be evicted, and so they deferred to, utilizing their body to get out of a situation, and it worked for them. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say it doesn't help you get yourself out of a crack when needed. But you have to be honest and ask yourself why you keep finding yourself in a situation where rent is due and you're almost going to be evicted, or the lights are almost going to get cut off. Why do you keep finding yourself in that situation to begin with, where you have to use your body to get your ass out the crack? What's up, Raining Woman? And Raining Woman, I was talking about the people that had my back during this entire ordeal. She's another person that stood in the gap, and I saw her trying to go up on that panel yesterday on Rude's channel, and Rude wouldn't let her up there. So like I said, I am very thankful for all the people that came out in support of me in this situation. But if you are not a woman that's capable of saying, I made some mistakes, I didn't see things clearly because I was young and naive, but now I have daughters and I have sons, and I need to acknowledge that I didn't do things correctly at one point in time. And not only acknowledge, accept, and take accountability, but put forth the effort. I don't really see the effort either. I don't see people making an effort to change along with their mentality. Like, some people may be fully aware that they fucked up, but they refuse to change. They're too stubborn to change, because if they change, they are afraid that they're going to piss some people off. Well, I've been hanging with this group of people for so long that if they see me all of a sudden changing how I move, they're going to think I'm trying to be brand new on their behind. So now you're holding yourself back because you are worried about what the crowd thinks. And that right there is a problem with this community as well. Worrying too much about what other people think that ain't doing shit for you. I remember when I was younger and I was hanging out with a group of people that didn't do anything to enhance my life. See, ladies and gentlemen, too, you have to be mindful of the company that you're keeping. And in the Black community, we love our entertainment. We love the kiki, caw, laugh. Life is a party type situation going on all the time. And so we're with people that don't do anything but bring toxic energy. They don't do nothing but give you negative reinforcements, negative validations. They like to see you acting a fool. You'll never have nobody pulling your coattail and saying, hey, brother, you know what? You acting a damn fool. You spinning your wheels. You wasting your time. We don't have enough Black men pulling their brother's coattail when you guys are out hanging out and you see that your brother, who is married and got a whole family at home, that he's about to go out and ruin his whole family over some poom poom. No, instead, you got a community of men that don't respect marriage. So they're going to encourage that brother to go and get that extra stuff. As a matter of fact, they'll say, it's your right. We supposed to be polygamous anyway as men. Knowing that that's not the type of relationship that that man's wife thinks that they are in. So they will encourage that man to ruin his entire legacy for some pum pum. Because the people that you surround yourself with, they don't think that far ahead into the future. So you got to be cognizant of the company that you keep. Yeah, Kareem, that happens. But here's the thing. When I tell Black women to have the courage to be disliked, that's the same thing for Black men. Sometimes you have to have the courage to be disliked. There's a lot of people that dislike the fact that I have this Better Class of Woman series. But guess what? I don't give a damn because somebody has to say it. Somebody has to do it. So if I'm disliked, then so be it. If some women think I'm trying to daughter them, then so be it. But they can't say nobody tried to tell them. Now, you can tell the truth, but there is a responsibility even in being a truth carrier. A lot of times when you tell the truth, people are not going to like you. Incognito says that I left for college and never been back home, moved to a whole other city, and it forced me to make it. Yeah, I mean, this is what I keep telling people, like, you give your children the tools. If you're poor, you're not going to be able to give them money, okay? But you can give them the tools as far as teaching them how to handle their money, how to save, and what they need to make it out in this world, how to live within their means. You're not going to be able to shield your children from life. Let them go out there and test the waters. Let them go out there and see what it takes to make it. Sometimes experience is the best teacher. You can tell a person until you blue in the face how things are. Well, son, let me tell you, I wouldn't do this thing right here because this, that, and the other happened to me. That's perfectly fine. But they hear you, but they ain't feeling you, if you know what I mean. Like my parents used to tell me all the time, Faith, you got to be serious about getting yourself together, serious about saving money. Because when you get out here in this world and you start paying bills, if you don't have a cushion, is you're going to really feel the crunch. So you got to put money to the side. You got to say, my parents used to tell me that all the time, and I wouldn't listen to them because I heard them, but I wasn't feeling them, if you know what I mean. So when my parents saw that I wasn't paying them no attention, they put me out there in the world and let me experience it for myself. And when I got out into the world and I started actually doing it, that's when I realized that the things that my parents were trying to tell me were true, because experience is the best teacher. When I was out there and I actually had hands on, that's when I realized I got to get my ass together and start putting some money up, because it's serious out here. But see, it took the combination of my parents giving me the information. Some of you don't even give your kids the information. At least I had the information. So when I coupled the information with me actually experiencing it hands on, that's when it finally clicked. That's when it finally clicked. Just like when you go to school, a teacher can tell you how to work a math problem, but it's not going to connect until you got to get up and actually solve an equation. Then it finally clicks, because you have the hands-on experience of having to go through the motions of solving that equation for yourself. You can watch somebody else do it all day long, but you're not going to feel them until you do it yourself. So, you have to give your kids that combination. Give them the information. You have to also demonstrate to them. Give them the information, do the demonstration, and then you have to let them feel it for themselves. Let them go out and execute it. Because if you don't, they're not going to be able to feel what you've been teaching them all this time. Air Black says, that's interesting. I don't see men operating in groupthink when it comes to their own personal relationships at all, or as much as women do. I always thought people's personal relationship is personal. It is. People's personal relationship is personal. That is until you start getting an epidemic of certain things happening in the community that tears down the community, like fatherless households. So it's personal until it becomes an epidemic. You're not going to be able to save everyone, but if you do not give people the information, if you do not show them how X, Y, and Z is affecting the entire community, if you don't make the attempt, then the community is just going to burn because nobody's trying. Everybody's all for themselves. And I'm all for individualism, but I am also for putting the information out there. Because eventually, what affects the community will also affect you. Because, like you said the other day in the live stream when Woman's Sphere was up on my panel, if you have a woman selling her body out of her house and she has a line of men coming in and out, that attracts a certain type of traffic. Eventually, it goes from being her personal business to affecting you. Like how, Kareem, you said that her personal business turned into your personal business when one of the people that was coming to her house on a regular basis started staking you out and paying attention to your comings and goings. And they broke into your house because she attracted a certain crowd. So it would behoove you and others to speak up about things that you see going on in your community. That's the reason why when you go to other groups of people community, they have neighborhood watches. Not because they some nosy motherfuckers, but they have neighborhood watches because they know that when something bad or inconsistent happens in their community, it can affect the entire community. It can pollute the entire community. Like I said, I've been a truck driver for many, many years. And I have gone to communities where they have the signs up, no soliciting. Not because these people are trying to tell people how to live their lives, but they know that that sort of thing draws a certain type of unsavory character into the community. But usually it starts with the prostitutes. I hate to say it. When they come, next thing you know, here come the drug dealers, because a lot of those prostitutes buy drugs. They like to buy their weed. They like to buy their, other, extracurricular drug activities. So here comes the drug dealers. And then also some of them got to have their protection. Some of them have bodyguards, which is a certain unsavory type of character, and they're carrying around illegal firearms. And some of them have pimps who also double as drug dealers. I've seen that before. So they attract a certain unsavory traffic. So that's the reason why when you go in some of these communities, they'll outright say they don't want no solicitors. I even once seen a sign that outright bans, it says no sex workers. I've seen one of those. Like they get real specific about it. Incognito says, I think black folks have to start on a micro level, like your household. If we keep building strong families one by one, it will eventually push out the undesirables. I agree. I think that we should do more as far as changing our language as a group and supporting marriages amongst our people. I think that we should stop trying to tear down Black love when we see it. We should encourage Black love. We should encourage it to flourish into marriage. We should encourage Black families. And we should encourage couples to stay together and keep their families intact. We got too many people that's running around here hating on Black marriage, either because they're not married. You have women out here hating other women marriages because they're not married. Let's just keep it a buck. And that's the reason why the Better Class of Woman series is very important, because we have to tackle these negative mindsets. There's a lot of negative mindsets running around here. So you got people out here that will sit up here because they don't have it. They don't want you to have it. Like I said, that crab in the barrel mentality. Well, if I can't find a husband, I'm not going to let her be over there happy with her husband. So I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to flirt with her husband. I'm going to see if I can get a toenail into their situation. And I'm going to come in between her and her man. And you got some men out here that'll see a man happy in a relationship or marriage with his wife or his girlfriend. And he'll get mad and upset because he can't do it. He can't provide for a woman in a family. And he ain't trying to provide for a woman in a family. So what he gonna do? I'm gonna see if I can bust this thing up. I'm gonna flirt with his woman. I'm gonna see if I can get my foot into that situation and throw a monkey wrench. I'm gonna challenge this man every chance I get. I'm gonna call him a simp. Every time I see him bring his wife flowers, I'm gonna say he's a cook, he's a simp. We do not encourage positivity. We do more to discourage positivity in our communities by doing stuff like this. And I'm just calling out the haters, because that's exactly what it is. And they will come at you full force. Now, before I even heard of a Warren and Danini on here, I heard that people were really, really talking down on their relationship. We got two black people that done got together and they have commitment. They have a household. I don't know if they're married or not, but these are two black people that are together and they seem to be happy. But why would you have people that want to hate on that? Why would you have people that want to come in between? I've seen black people come in between other black people's relationships so much, just even online. And also I've seen black people come into other people's relationship in real life. Like it's almost as if we cannot stand to see happy, committed, intact relationships. And I'm calling on people to notice this and call it out. See, we always talk about what's needed. We always talk about we need more black families. We need more black marriages. But then when we see people tearing down the black family and tearing down black relationships and marriages, we don't say nothing. It's entertainment. We don't think that the very thing that we say we need, somebody is tearing it down. And I'm guilty of it too. And it's because we don't really think about it. We don't realize what's happening. So you need people to kind of ring the alarm and put it in perspective. Look at what we're doing to each other. And we got to stop it. If you see somebody attacking somebody's marriage, like Sister George and Curlin's marriage was attacked. And I feel bad for my part in that because it was entertainment, and we had a personal beef. And you're exactly right about that, Era Black. That's more about certain people personal beef with certain other people. But see, here's the thing. You're always going to have a personal vendetta against other people. But you can't let that personal vendetta cloud your judgment and what you're actually doing. And that's what I want people to stop and take a stand back and look at what they're doing. Your personal vendetta is about to come in between an actual marriage, an actual family. Sister George and Curlin, they came together, they have an actual marriage, they both have children from previous relationships, and now they are a blended family. So you're not just breaking up those two people, but you are messing up a family. And see, this is what I want us to start doing. I want us to start being thoughtful of one another in our situations and remembering what we say we need more of. If we say we need more Black families, Black marriages, Black, committed relationships, then now, yes, Arab Black, we got to respect it. RESPECT. And that's something that we as a group don't have for one another. We have a lot of disdain, dislike, and disrespect for one another. That we will go and overlook whole marriages and whole families for our own selfish reasons. We got to stop being selfish and disrespectful to one another as a group. And that's what I see a lot of when I talk to women in particular. Women are very selfish. Can we acknowledge this? We as women can be very selfish and self absorbed to the point where we don't even realize that we're stepping on other people's toes. We'll sit up here and we'll see another woman, and that woman is happy in her relationship. And for some reason, that bothers some of us. Who the hell did this woman think she is? And I remember hearing Sister George say that on her channel. Wow, I can't be happy that I'm married. I can't brag on my man. And I had to think about that for a second. She has every right to be happy about her situation and be happy about her man. Now, I don't agree with women weaponizing their marriage against other women because other women are single. Now, when you sit up here and you talk down on single women simply because you're married, I don't condone that because everybody starts off single. And anything can happen in a relationship where you can end up single. Yeah, Error Black, those are character issues or flaws. Exactly. And those are character issues and flaws that we as a group need to work on because it is causing us to be the crabs in the barrel. We have to work on the things within ourselves that cause us to be these haters. You know, we are a mass group of haters. And nobody just really sat down and said that to us as a group. As a group, I'm just gonna be the first one to say it. As a group, our group of people, the Black race, the Black community, as a group, we are a group of haters. I've never seen a group of people hate on their own people 24/7 like we do. And no, incognito, it doesn't just happen online. I've seen women in my family when another family member is getting married, we at the wedding as women hating. Ooh, I give this about 5 years before it's over. We sitting up here talking gloom and doom over other people's marriages at the wedding. Incognito says, exactly. I was married and now single. It's life. Exactly. But I respect my married friends as much as my single friends. And that's how it should be. RESPECT. We got to start learning that word as a group. We got to start respecting certain things that we say we need. If we say we need more Black families, more Black relationships, more Black marriages, we need to start respecting our Black families and our Black marriages and our Black relationships. If that's what we need, it should be sacred, holy ground. And if we see someone trying to attack it, then we aggressively as a group should call that person out. See, we should be shaming the person that's attacking institutions that we say we need. That's the key. So if we see somebody walking around here talking about proud side chick, proud side nigga, they need to be getting the business because they are a threat to the institutions that we say we need. And until we can collectively understand that, then those institutions that we say we need will always be under attack. And we got to stop encouraging men and women who are in committed marriages and relationships to step out on their partner and disrespect their partner. But instead, we need to be encouraging these people to stay together and work out their situations. Now, barring abuse, physical abuse, child sexual assault, any type of abuse, barring any type of abuse, we should be really encouraging our people who we see in these loving and committed relationships to stay together and work things out. We got a lot of quitters, and that's the reason why our marriages don't last. People are sitting up here running out of marriages and long-term committed relationships for silly reasons. Nobody has cheated, nobody's being abusive, but it's just little silly reasons. Oh, she gained 10 pounds. Well, encourage her to get in the gym and you get in the gym with her. He lost his job. Well, encourage him to find a new job. People lose their jobs all the time. But if you are a unit and you are a couple, you're supposed to be working together. Learn how to work together, learn how to hold each other up when there comes a downside. And there's a lot of ups and downs in life. And we as Black people, we don't have the tools to work with each other during our ups and downs. I've seen couples in my family go through their financial ups and downs where one person would lose a job and the other person had to carry the other person until that other person was able to get up on their feet and find a job. Those are the type of things that I'm talking about. We have a lot of quitters. Too many quitters and not enough people that are willing to cross the finish line together. My grandparents, they stayed married until they both died. And I'm talking about it was a lot of ups and downs. I don't see people staying together like that anymore. It's like anything is a reason to quit. And I'm quite sure that my grandfather, at a lot of times during their long marriage to one another, he probably stumbled across women that he thought was better than my grandmother, that he might be happier with. There's always going to be somebody that look better, that do one thing better than what you think you got. And so the grass always looks greener on the other side. But thank God my grandparents were grounded and they understood that sometimes all that glitters isn't gold. Incognito, you said it took you 17 years to quit, but it was necessary. If it's a necessary quit, I don't get down on people that quit when it is evident that it's time to throw in the towel. You know, you do got to know when to hold them and you got to know when to fold them and you got to know when to walk away. If you're experiencing constant abuse in a situation and it's making you so unhappy, I don't blame anyone from walking away from abuse and going where you can get peace of mind. I've been in relationships where I have experienced terrible abuse, physical and verbal. There are women that experience physical, verbal, and financial abuse. There are men that experience financial abuse from women. I never forget, there was a guy that moved into our neighborhood when me and my husband had our house and we were raising our young family. And there was a guy that lived across from us, and you know he and his wife were young too, so we kind of, befriended them because they were another married couple on the block. And I remember my husband was young and starting out his business. And so we had to live within our means. So that means that I had to be very understanding of our finances and what it would take for us to grow. So we had to put away so much for savings, and we had a budget for the household, and we also had a budget for things that we wanted to do, outside of that, fun stuff. We had to, be realistic about not living outside of our means. So as his wife, I had to be understanding of that. Well, this man's wife that lived across the street from us, she was not understanding of that. They had a joint account. And so when he would put money into the account thinking that he had money to pay bills, she was taking money out of the account and moving the money into her own personal account and buying things that they could not afford. And she was doing it on a regular basis. And so when it came time for bills to come out of the financial account that the joint account they had together, they were always coming up short. And then he would be in the rears with the bank. And he could never understand what was happening because he knew that he was budgeting right. And see, both of us, my husband, I was a stay-at-home wife, and she was a stay-at-home wife. And so she would come out all the time and she'd have these really expensive clothes and jewelry and shoes. And I thought they were balling because she was just dressing so expensive and so nice all the time. And I was like, how is it that her husband, is just starting out with his business and, he's like able to afford to buy his wife all this stuff, and come to find out he couldn't afford it. Like my husband, would buy me nice things, but it would be over time because we had to live within a budget. We had to live within our means. So when I got gifts, it would be on my birthday or Christmas or anniversary, but it would be something that he would save for and budget for. But she was getting stuff, it seemed, every week. And I was like, wow, I didn't know that they had it like this. Wow, she over here showing off $800 handbags every week. And I'm like, wow. And so I was kind of getting upset because I'm thinking to myself, what are you doing wrong, honey? That this woman's husband can sit up here and buy $800 handbags every week. So next thing I know, he came over to our house crying because they 3 months behind on their mortgage. And he asked my husband for a $5,000 loan. And we sat and we talked with them because we had our money. Because like I said, my husband and I lived within our means, and we had a budget and we had a savings. And so we really had to ask him, brother, how did you get in this situation? And so he went on to talk about how his wife have a spending habit. She's a shopaholic. And with her in the house, spending up everything that he brings in, he says she spend more than he brings in. And that's how they ended up getting behind and about to lose their house. And when I heard that, it kind of troubled me So as a woman, I went and I talked to his wife because I didn't appreciate him coming and wanting to take a chunk out of our savings to save their ass. And we had known them for a couple years, but still, it don't look good. And I told her, I said, look, you got your husband in a bad situation. Now you're over here showing off all your expensive stuff. I said, you need to take all that stuff that you bought and you need to sell it to help your husband out. You and your husband. I said, all this stuff you got in your closet, you don't even wear it. She still had tags on half the shit. She was just buying and accumulating shit. I said, you need to sell all this shit and help your husband. And that's what I told her. And I told my husband, I said, no. I said, no, we're not going to put our neck on the line because he got a wife in his house that's financially abusing him. And see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, women don't understand that they can be abusive too. It's called entitlement. It's called financial abuse. And they had children, and she made sure those kids were dressed in the most expensive. Now, we used to dress our kids nice too, but I knew to go and look on the clearance rack for stuff because we were young and we were upcoming. So I knew that this was a budget that I had to spend on the children. And I always stayed within the budget. We didn't go without. We had everything that we needed and some, but we had a budget that we strictly stood by. And I never put my husband in position where we were in the rears because I was stealing money out of the main account. We had a joint account too. But I understood finances and I understood how money works. This man's wife did not understand finances. She did not understand how she was hurting her husband and abusing him financially and being entitled. And unfortunately, it caused them to lose their home. Miss Lucky said, I used to be a slave to fashion as well, but not anymore. I had to get a grip on that. Making other people rich, that wasn't smart at all. Exactly. So, what I teach here at this channel is I teach ladies to think like ladies and to act with a certain amount of decorum, not just in public, but in your personal lives. Whether you're single, in a committed relationship, married, single, raising children, etc., etc. I try to cover the entire span because it is the mindset that needs to change. There's nothing wrong with appreciating the finer things in life, but you also have to appreciate living within your means. There's nothing wrong with that. And building. There's so many couples that have built together. And in the Black community, unfortunately, you got a lot of people that are probably going to have to build together and know about finances, know about saving, know about budgeting. You can still have your family vacations. You can still look and dress nice, but you have to do so within your means. So, once again, I want to shout out to all the black people that understand and hear the sound of my voice, and you understand the message. See, we got to start understanding the assignment, or else we will perish. Individually, if we all take hold of this message, we will be better as a group. Incognito was right. It starts in each individual household. Charity begins at home and spreads abroad. Isn't that the old saying? So it begins at home and it spreads abroad. If these morals, standards, and values are the standard in every black household, it will spread abroad. Because right now, what the standard is extremely low. And you know it's low because it has spread abroad. The standard is infidelity, lying, stealing, conniving, backstabbing. That's the current standard. And whatever the current standard is, it spreads abroad. So you see how that works? As individuals, majority of us as individuals have accepted the current low standard. And a lot of us refuse to separate ourselves from people who have a scarcity mindset and who uphold the low standards that we currently have in our society, because we are afraid of offending our friends. So we got to have people who are brave, who are bold, who don't mind being disliked, to say enough is enough. I'm tired of seeing this low standard, and I am going to be the change I want to see. We got to start being the change that we want to see. And we got to be bold and unapologetic about it. Right. Welcome, C. Rose, of the breakdown. And this is another person. I was going down the list of people that really supported the message when it came out. And C. Rose, as well as Sister George, have been very supportive of this message, along with Mahogany Roots and MJ, who I mentioned earlier. But I saw C. Rose in a few comment sections battling it out with folks. We need more of that. But C. Rose says we're often ostracized when we do. And it's gonna come. I welcome the ostracization. I really do, because it's going to come. I recognize that and I have accepted. I should use a better word. I have accepted that change is not going to come overnight and is not going to come without a fight. Change is definitely going to come with a lot of people ostracizing you and putting you down, challenging you. Change does not happen easily. It doesn't. And I accept that now. So you're going to have a lot of people who are not ready to change fighting you. And you're not even, trying to force them to change, but you're presenting a new idea and you're speaking up for your values and standards. And just the mere fact that you have the strength and the courage to do that is a threat to people. So, no, you don't have to change. And this is what I tell them all the time. But you don't have a right to tell me that I can't speak up for my moral standards and values and speak on things that I believe in. The same way that you believe in what you believe in and you stand on it and you're bold, you're proud, and you're unapologetic, so am I. And it's got to be more people who are positive. I don't see enough of the positive people being that bold and unapologetic as the people who are not positive. We got to start being bold and unapologetic in positivity. Or else, the status quo of low standards that has spread abroad in our community is going to keep spreading abroad from generation to generation. That's what I see. Because those of us who are positive, we're silent. Good morning, Can't Hide. And Can't Hide is another warrior that I've seen. She's been out here swinging them arms and chopping off people and, really keeping the trolls in line over here. So I appreciate that. Incognito says exactly, be unapologetic about your life. What works for you may not work for others. Exactly. But I'm going to tell you, the toxicity doesn't work for anybody. It doesn't. When I see Black people on panels complaining about Black men don't marry nobody, but then I see the same women talking about proud side chick, I want to be a sugar baby. Pick a struggle. Either you want to see more marriages or you want to be a home wrecker, but you cannot be double minded. And we got to start calling out the hypocrisy. I've seen I'm not going to say the lady's name, but she is a cam model or sex worker or whatever. Not none of the people that I've been getting into it with recently, but she was recently on somebody's show. And my guy sent me a clip of it, and I was watching her and listening to her. And while she's sitting up here complaining that Black men don't desire marriage and that she doesn't want to deal with nakers, she's saying this out one side of her mouth, but you are literally a sex worker. So now some of these guys that are your clients, and you don't know which ones are married or not married, because I promise you they're probably not telling you. But you are very instrumental in ruining a marriage. Now, it's not just you by yourself, of course, because it does take two to tango. He's ruining his marriage too. But you can't be sitting up here a whole sex worker who sleep with married men or who show your wares online to married men talking about Black men don't value marriage. when literally that's what you do. You don't give them a reason to value it. So we got to start making the actions fit what we claim we desire. Good morning, Dee Darrell. And I mentioned you earlier, Dee Darrell, as one of the people that have been very, very supportive of my platform and my message. And I saw you over there at that other person's channel who I will not name, but Dee Darrell was standing in the gap, you know, and having a sister's back. So I wanted to say I appreciate you. Oh, everybody's at here. Woman's Fear, another woman that has stood in the gap and had a sister's back as well. She says, at this point, it's up to Dee Darrell to save us all. I blame you, Dee Darrell. ah. Oh, keep your head up, Faith. Thank you, Woman's Fear. No, I'm definitely not gonna stop my message because it is definitely needed. We got to do something different, y'all. Something different has to happen. And I'm telling you, it starts with changing the mindset. We as a group have a scarcity mindset. We have a lot of Black women out here. So, how can I say, desperate. Now, times have changed where, we have more options as women. We have the option to be educated, whereas we didn't before. We have more career options. As Black women, the next door that we need to break down is getting paid what we're worth. But we have plenty of options. Now, the thing about it is a lot of women today who are career women or women that are working and, taking care of themselves, we have the option to make our own money, and we also have the option not to spend our money if we don't want to, if you have a man. And I know that there's a duality there. Because if you have a man that loves you and takes care of you, you don't have to spend too much of your own money. It's a good feeling, right? It's a great feeling. It's great to have options. I love it. I enjoy being a girl. But what a lot of us didn't count on were the women who are lazy, the women who are poor, and the women who have a scarcity mindset, who are very, 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 how can I say, desperate. We didn't bank on having to really compete with them. So now we're working and we do have the option of getting extra money from our man. But at the same time, we're competing with women that have a scarcity mindset and they're not as ambitious as we are. The only ambition they have is to use their body as a bargaining chip. And so this is what we're in competition with. And so it does give the men a slight advantage, being that there are more of us than there are them. So now it gives the men this type of option because you have your sluts, your total hoes, your sugar babies, your sex workers, your lazy, women that don't want to do anything but use their body to get ahead. And they are willing to do anything, including do whatever tricks she can do to take your man. And that's what we're competing with. What's up, Sister George? Another lady that has had my back this entire time. Shout out to Sister George. And I appreciate you, sis, and the work that you and Concrete Rose are doing over there at the breakdown as well. Yeah, can't hide. They be wearing that thing out. But here's the thing: we're in competition with that. So now you actually have men confused. They're like, well, she got her own money and she's educated, but she's what do they call us? They are threatened by your money and your education and your success. Because now they see that you have options, like you don't really need them like that. So if they're messing up, they can't control you with money. They can't dangle $40 over your head and say, hey, I'm not going to give this to you to get your nails and toes done. They can't dangle $200 over your head and say, hey, I'm not going to pay the gas bill, because you pretty much got it yourself. So if he's over there, messing up, you got your own bag. You can say to hell with you and you can move on to the next. Well, all he's going to do is say, you know what? I can't stand the modern woman. Because that's what they mean when they say they can't stand the modern woman. I can't stand the modern woman. She's arrogant. She thinks she's better than me because she's got a career, education, and she makes all this money. I don't care about her money. That's what they're talking about. The fact that you have options and you don't have to take a toxic situation if you don't want to. Hey, what's up, Topaz? Good morning. And so now your competition is the lazy, shiftless, sugar baby, sex worker, desperate chick that don't have nothing. And so that little $40 or that little $200 that he dangled in front of her, and that little dust ring, that dust engagement ring that he waves in front of her. Well, the scarcity mindset is real when you poll. That's the reason why a lot of these guys like to go to these third world countries or these countries that have women that are in situations where they don't have as many opportunities and as many rights as we do over here. They like going over there and dealing with those women because those women have a scarcity mindset. And we have women right here with the scarcity mindset. So when you have guys and you hear them say, hey, I don't like her. She thinks that she's better than me. Her money don't mean nothing to me. Of course it doesn't mean nothing to you because you can't control her with your money. And then it's not even that they want to control you with a whole lot of money. A lot of these guys don't have a lot of money. You're talking about guys that's waving around $100, $40, $200. Talking about you gonna miss this when it's gone. But if you got your own money and your own career and you're doing it for yourself, no, you're not. And you're not gonna, have to conform to whatever silly thing that he wants you to do. So he's gonna run down to the lower echelon woman. But the problem with the mindset of the lower echelon woman is that she's trash because she's used to scheming, lying, sneaking, conniving. And so that's the problem that they run into with the lower echelon woman. And some of them try to clean them up, wife them up, because they can control them with money. Well, if she getting out of line, I can just pull back on this $100 that I give her every now and then, and she'll get right back in line. No, because the woman with the scarcity mindset that has learned to conquer the world with her body, she's just going to sleep with another man to get what you ain't giving her. So you see how shit roll downhill? So the woman on the upper echelon, she doesn't have to use her body. She has her own money. But the woman on the lower echelon, she's still mad at you too, because nobody likes to be controlled at the end of the day. So she gonna bite you in the ass by going and sleeping with your friend that got that $100, $200 holler. And then you're gonna be just like this guy. Hold on, I think I'm gonna share this with you guys. Hold on a second. You guys got to see this. Oh my goodness. Did I put it on my timeline? Because this is perfect for what I'm talking about. Let me see if it's on my timeline here. Yeah, you guys sit up here and get with the lower echelon woman, and you end up being in a situation. You end up being in a situation where you're sharing community poom poom. Let's see, did I share this? Probably did not. No. Let's see, is it in my history? My herstory. I had a lot of stuff in my history. I look at a lot of videos. Is this it? No. I might have to type it into the search engine. I can't believe it, all the crap that I watch in a day. You guys, if you ever, here it is right here. Here it is right here. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm going to share this with you guys. And let me know if you're experiencing any audio issues. I'm going to play it just a little bit before sharing it, but I'm going to get my share screen together here. Hold on. My Chrome tab up. Okay, so it's on the screen right now. Boom, there it is. Okay, I'm going to enlarge it for you guys. And I'm going to enlarge it here. Hopefully my internet will cut me a break because I see that it's buffering. Matter of fact, let me see if I can refresh this on the screen. Can I refresh this? Because it's really buffering bad. It happens. Okay, there we go. All right, so let me go and try to share this one more time. Oh, no, it's still sharing. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and play this for you guys.
She's pregnant, but he can't have kids, and this happens.
This is what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about. That, yeah. You not happy? Yeah, what you mean I'm not happy? What am I happy for? What can I possibly be happy for? Because we're having a listen here, man. Stop complaining because you know I got vasectomy. I can't have no kids. Stop complaining.
You sound stupid coming in here.
I sound stupid? No, you sound cheating. What you sound like to me?
Cheater?
Yeah.
Who
got you pregnant?
What are you talking
Who
about?
got you pregnant?
I've only been with you.
Who got you pregnant?
You.
How? I can't have no kids.
What's going on, you guys, and welcome back to a different perspective. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button for your voice. So y'all saw the clip. This woman is over here proclaiming that this man has gotten her pregnant when he said he had a vasectomy.
Fair use.
Let's check this out.
Fair use.
Before I hit the play button on this video, let's hear a word from our sponsor, T. Henley. Women notice if a man ain't taking care of his skin. I get compliments on my skin all the time. I've been using T. Henley for about a year now. Their men's facial care does wonders. which is why I am so happy to announce that they are the sponsors. I am so happy to announce that they have helped me start and maintain my skincare routine, entire process uncomplicated. Honestly, this is the best skincare system for guys like system, which comes with all the basics. A daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. A 2 times per week exfoliate scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells. I've been using this scrub. Amazing Skin Easy. Like I said, I've been using their products for over a year now, and I'm hooked. I don't use shipping rates to most countries. And because Tees Henley is sponsoring today's video, but you will also get a free gift with your first order. Click that link now and get started for just $30. And with that being said, back to the video. Y'all ready? I'm ready. Let's go.
She's pregnant. But he can't have kids, and this happens.
No, this is what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about. That, yeah. Yeah, what you mean I'm not happy? What am I happy for? What can I possibly be happy for?
Because we're having a baby.
Who else? Listen here, man. Stop complaining because you know I got a vasectomy. I had no kids. Stop complaining.
Now, he said, you know. So this is no secret to her. She should know that this man cannot have any kids because he told her that he had a vasectomy. And he's like, you know what? You playing with me right now. Stop playing with me. It's a strong possibility, and this happens, where a woman will be fooling around with a bunch of men. She may know which one is the one that's the actual father, but she will put that child on another man, the man that she feels is more suitable to raise that child or will be a better parent or be more consistent and stay around. Hey, wait, my mom did that. I never even thought about it like that, but my mom actually did that. Nigga still didn't stay around.
You sound stupid.
I sound stupid? No, you sound she mad. What you sound like to me?
Cheater?
Yeah.
I only
Who got
been
you
with
pregnant?
you. What are you talking
Who
about?
got you pregnant?
I've only been with you.
Who got you pregnant?
You!
How? I can't have no kids.
Just listen. This is about to get crazy.
I have a whole vasectomy.
You do know after a certain period of time, it can happen again.
No, it can't.
Like
My slip. It cannot happen again. My slip. I can't have no kids.
women get their tooth tied after so many years. It can turn back into one tooth. You know what I'm talking about?
She said it can turn back into one tooth. Yo, this woman don't know what she talking about, man. If I remember correctly, I think the tubes tied is it's like a little thing that they go up in there and they kind of put it together, kind of pinches the tubes, whatever, something that can actually come off. This woman thinks that the vasectomy is essentially the same thing. No, woman, they kind of snip so that that semen won't do what it's supposed to do. Yo, she lying. Whose child is that? It ain't his.
Everything happens with men. I ain't been with nobody but you, so you
That's impossible because I can't have no kids. I was vasectomy.
Well, you
talking about like you heard me. I take care of her. I take care of her.
If it were me in this situation, I would be like, leave my house. I don't want to hear from you again until the child is born, so that I can get a paternity test. Until then, we ain't got nothing else to say to each other. Get out, go, because I can't believe you trying to put this child on me. What? You wow.
Yeah,
I'm on the camera because I want to show how you ain't. That's why.
I'm not.
Yeah, you.
It's your baby.
It ain't no baby. It ain't no baby. And you got plenty of opportunities. You got plenty of opportunities. You know I'm on the road with my job. My job, everywhere I go on the road with my job. I ain't never. Because you can't. I'm at work.
He's like, yo, you got plenty of opportunity to cheat. You got so much because of my job. And she's like, why don't you just take me with you? He's like, I can't because I'm at work. Oh man, what is wrong with her? Y'all, I ain't seen all this, man.
You wanna talk to me? What the?
I'm not putting the camera down. Yo. I'm not.
Ain't nobody about to talk to somebody respectfully when you're blatantly disrespecting this man to the highest degree because you're putting a child on him that can't possibly be his, and you know it. The lie is the ultimate disrespect. How he's speaking to you versus the disrespect by blatantly lying on this man, and you deserve respect. Try again.
I'm putting the camera down because that's some shit you got. Yes, you bring it home. Who the dad? Who the dad? Who the dad? You. I'm not the dad. I had a whole vasectomy. So how the fuck I'm gonna be the dad? Who the father? Who the father?
She says, so you're not gonna take care of the child. What you think? Oh, ain't no man on this planet that can't have kids, that don't want to have kids, got a whole vasectomy so that he can make sure he never have kids. Don't want to sit here and take care of a child.
So you're not gonna take
care. Who is the father?
You need to tell me.
Who the father?
Are you not gonna take care of this child?
It ain't mine. I'm not taking care of the child. It's not mine. Dumb?
So now,
are you stupid?
So now I'm just
you can't be that stupid thing. I'm gonna take care of a baby that's not mine.
Camera down and then talk to me as a man.
No way, bro.
I'm not gonna do this.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna play.
Do this?
Do what, man? Because I do it.
You know it's your fucking child.
I know it's not my child because I had a whole vasectomy. I've been doing everything for you. And I swear to God, bro, you out here sleeping around. But I just want to know, what did I do to deserve it? What did I do to you? Just tell me, did you have a baby by a whole man? Huh?
If you want to talk to me, put the camera down.
I'm not.
He getting emotional. He getting real emotional. He crying and everything. He's like, man, I do everything for you. I had a vasectomy. And you over here sleep. The proof is in the pudding that you cheating on me and sleeping around with other men because you done got pregnant. He hurt. He is real hurt right now. Do you think she care? She is not giving I care about your feelings attitude at all. Because she's just keeping this lie just going. Put a child on a man that don't even want a child. Goodness gracious. And it ain't his in the first place. That's the crazy part.
I'm not.
Baby, you should be smiling and being happy.
Get the out. That's you all. Get the out of my house right now. You're playing, man. So, yeah, you playing with somebody else, baby. They get the out.
I will. Let a woman ever tell me that, oh, I'm not leaving. When I tell you to get out of my house, when I say leave and you don't leave and you say you're not gonna leave, when you do leave, I'm never speaking to you ever again. How you just gonna say you're not leaving somebody's house?
Get the out. I'm gonna grab one. I'm gonna put you out myself. Yeah, I'll put you out. You ain't that baby ain't mine. You out of my house, man. No, it's not. All right, so just stay here. I'm gonna call the police and get out of my house. Yeah, you got me. Look.
Man, y'all leave your thoughts, comments, and opinions down below. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. See ya.
All right, y'all. So I'm back. You guys heard the video. So basically, she told her guy, hey, I'm pregnant and it's yours. But he had a vasectomy. So I went and I looked up how effective a vasectomy is against pregnancy. Okay. And according to Penn Medicine, they are extremely effective. It says here that they're about 99% effective. In fact, only 1 in maybe 1,000 women end up getting pregnant after a man has a vasectomy. So that's 99% effective. And there's just maybe about, I think they said about maybe 3 to 5% of women that do get pregnant after a man has a vasectomy. So that's a very small percentage of women that gets pregnant off of a vasectomy. So now looking at the stats and looking at the fact that this guy is crying because he's like, man, who could have got you pregnant? Because I know it wasn't me. I had a vasectomy. I cannot have children. So when he's out working, and he's paying all the bills, she's smashing somebody else. Let's just call a thing a thing. She is out smashing somebody else and pretty much spending up his money and allowing him to finance her lifestyle. So that's the lower echelon of women that I'm talking about. I'm going to bring this back full circle to what I was originally talking about. So this is what these guys are pretty much dealing with. So either they deal with the woman that has her own, he can't control her with his money. So, hey, they're on a level playing field and they don't like that. So then they go to the lower echelon and they do everything for the woman and thinking that he going to control her with his money, but she don't like his ass either. Because at the end of the day, nobody likes to be controlled. Nobody. So what's she going to do? What you don't do, she's going to go and get it from somebody else. And so that's what happened to this guy. She was out there getting it from somebody else. And he might have not even been treating her bad, but it's just the fact that these women with the scarcity mindset, the lower echelon, their mindset is, well, I can always have more, and I know how to get more by using what I got. So she used what she got, and it got her pregnant and in trouble. And she thought that she was going to be able to pass the buck off to this guy because she knew that he was the more responsible man. And he wasn't having it. And I have to say, you know what? Y'all gonna be mad at me, but I'm gonna have to give that man a round of applause for not laying down and taking that. Kudos to him. Kudos to him. Because that is that low level scarcity mindset that you cannot build with. You cannot. Nor can you build with the latter. And that is the woman who is arrogant and thinks that her money and her career makes her better than the man. That so much so that she cannot take leadership from him and build with the guy. There has to be a balance. So you can't be too arrogant, and you can't have that lower echelon scarcity mindset thinking either, where you think you're going to get over on everybody. None of that works. And so that is the reason why we need a better class of women overall. Overall. If you got a good person in your life, appreciate them. Appreciate that person. And you be the best person that you can be in return. You enrich and enhance each other's lives in a positive way. Now, on the one hand, the woman on the lower echelon is a parasite. She doesn't add anything but bills. And then on the other hand, to the other extreme, the woman that has her own money, her own career, and don't need a man, don't need this, don't need that, can't tell me shit. She's not somebody that you can cooperate with and build anything with. You have to be someone that a man can cooperate with and trust. He has to be able to trust you, and he has to be able to feel that he can cooperate, or that you can cooperate with him, and you guys can build together and cooperate with each other. There has to be a balance there. Exactly, Meta Doll. Her goal is to get money from suckers. And she's going to keep wearing that thing out. She conquering the world with that vagina. Ultimate Gemini says certain men don't want that. They want someone that looks good and they can show off to their friends. That's just the truth. And there are certain men that want that. But when you get the lower echelon that you can show off to your friends, and she got the body and everything else, and he can show her off to his friends. And guess what? His friends are going to be able to take that for a ride, because when he ain't looking, that's exactly what she's going to let the highest bidder do. So yeah, not only is he showing her off to his friends, but his friends are eventually going to be able to get that. And see, that's what men need to also be looking at. You want a woman that you're attracted to, yes. But you want a woman that doesn't have a scarcity mindset, where she's going to show your stuff to your friends and give your stuff to your friends. And see, that's where a level of maturity has to come in with the men as well. Exactly, Metadoll. His friends are going to get a piece of that too, while he's showing it off. And yeah, sometimes they repeat the cycle because people are not acknowledging where they do go wrong. They're not acknowledging their mistake. They're not taking accountability for their choices. So the cycle will always repeat when people refuse to say, I'm doing something the wrong way. I got to change how I do things. Because see, a lot of times men will be married to the booty, but they know nothing about the substance of the woman. I remember the first time I heard the term married to the booty. I think it was my cousin Eric that said it, because he had married a woman that was on that scarcity mindset, lower echelon thinking, but she had a beautiful body. And that's all he saw. He did not think to look at anything else. And boy, did she run him through the ringer. Right, Ken has said chicken heads coming home to roost, literally. Yeah, and it can go the opposite direction with the woman that's educated, got her job, got her own money. I don't need you for this. I don't need you for that. I don't, you can't sit up and be with a person and make them feel completely useless either. What are you doing? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to push this man out of your life? I don't need you for this. I don't need all the man is going to hear is I don't need you. So if you don't need him as a man, he's going to think, okay, well, she don't need me. I'm out. I'm going to find somebody that do need me and appreciate me. So all this, I don't need, I got this, I can do that. I'm strong. I'm independent. You got to let that go, sis. We know you can handle yourself on your own. We know this. We know you can afford to get your own hair and nails done, and you can take yourself on a nice trip. We know you can afford your own house. We know you got a luxury vehicle that you can afford. We know. You ain't got to broadcast it to the whole world. Sphere said all women that look good are easy. No, I don't think so. I don't think all women that look good are easy. I think it has less to do with looks and more to do with mentality. Because quiet is kept, if you just have a decent body, you can make yourself look like a 9 or a 10 with all these cosmetics and the new wigs that they have now. The new wigs look just like your own hair. You know, there's a lot of people that are really ones and twos in real life, and they have elevated themselves up to model status with all the stuff that we have these days. Man, I saw some shapewear where this woman had put this shapewear on. You know, I don't know if y'all watch those shapewear commercials. I mean, she put that shapewear on and she gave herself a real unrealistic looking hourglass figure, but she had a big old stomach and all these rolls, and she put that shapewear on, and baby, bad, that stomach disappeared. She had this hourglass figure. The illusion was real. And then she had this bra that hoisted them big girls all the way up, and she looked good. I'm telling you, man, there's a lot. There are people walking around here who are ones and twos in real life. But when they get to doing that hocus pocus razzmatazz that we as women do, hey, I do it too. Man, we walk out here looking like supermodels. So anybody can be cute. That, you know, the competition is stiff now. And if you got a little money, you can buy beauty. You can buy a BBL. You can buy a tummy tuck. You can buy all the beauty you want if you got money. So it's not just about beauty anymore, because damn near anybody can have it now. Anybody can be, goddammit, thebum.com these days. Literally. I have seen some massive transformations out here you wouldn't believe. It exactly, can't have. If you got men that are transsexuals that can transform themselves into the hottest woman you ever seen, it's not about beauty anymore. And that's the other thing. We as a group, we got to get off this whole beauty thing. Because to be honest with you, the competition is stiff out here. It really is. And now with the natural hair movement, Black women have learned how to grow their hair at least shoulder length. My hair is down my back now. I got about 3-4 years of natural hair growth, because I done learned how to grow that shit out. Now I can go between my wig and my own hair and y'all wouldn't even know. And I've done it several times on the live stream. The hair that I have on this avatar is mine. And that was from, I think, about 2 years ago. So it's even longer. So I could be wearing a wig or not wearing a wig. Y'all wouldn't even know. Oh, Womansphere said that was a typo. Okay, let me reread your comment again. I might have misunderstood. She said, beautiful women with nice bodies get a bad rap a lot of times. Yeah, they do. They do. Alpha Omega says, honestly, we went on dates in our 20s to see if we were connected, spoke on the phone, etc. But those types of chicks wanting that $40, $200, yes, that explains everything. No, nowadays it's more about mentality, because I'm telling you, damn near everybody that I see running around here done got some sort of beauty potion. Like literally, I could see them on Monday looking like shit. When then come Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, when they getting ready to step out, I don't even recognize these people. I mean, beauty can be purchased now. It's over. Game over for motherfuckers sitting up here talking about something. I'm the baddest chick. Man, is some chicks out here that will shit all over some of the baddest chicks with this beauty in the bottle shit that they got going on. It is real. It is so real. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Woman's Fear says I have a nice body, and men automatically think I got them lined up the block, and I don't. And that's sad, because people are judging without getting to know people these days. Every beautiful woman with a beautiful body is not out there. And every woman that is unattractive isn't a incel, a female incel. Sometimes the most unattractive woman got the worst self-esteem, and they'll be the first one to lay down and have sex with everybody. I remember there's this clip running around here on Facebook. I don't know if you guys seen it, but this guy was filming this girl, and he said, "Who can get it?" And the girl said, "Everybody can get it. Everybody can get it." And it was so funny because dude started laughing. He said, "I fucks with you." And I'm just like, wow. And she was an average looking chick talking about everybody can get it. So beauty has nothing to do with it. My whole point this entire time has been, it is the mentality of women that has got to change, and how we view and value ourselves, our bodies, our sexuality, how we think about the world and how we tackle it. It's all in our mentality. And we got a lot of people racing to the bottom. Shout out to Commendable K. We got a lot of people racing to the bottom with the scarcity mindset. Shout out to CK again for coining the term racing to the bottom and coining the term scarcity mindset. These are his terms. And he's absolutely right. Era Black says, can we be adults and go deeper than the look? Aren't most of the looks made up or fake or not natural anyway? So you have to get deeper into the individual to feel you can be secure with them through time. Facts. Well said. Well said. And Right Can't Hide says any woman with a vajayjay can get a man. And she's absolutely right about that. Like I said, when I was arguing with Bomb yesterday, and she wanted to have this cam up contest. I can't with the sophomoric thinking. Do you know what men will pay to look at? What men will have sex with? You'll be surprised. I see crackhead prostitutes out here getting money. So that tells you right there that men will sleep with anything. Anything. I've seen grandmas walking down the street, and you know how these women, the grandmothers, they done had children and their children done had children, but the grandma want to feel like she still got it. So she'll put on her tight pants and hoist that booty up in the air because that is the best asset she got right now. And granny will turn around and take that selfie shot, and she'll turn in such a way where she had them fat rolls in that stomach, and she's going to accentuate that best side and post that online. And then she's going to do a live webcam and lure you in with the thumbnail of the best side she got, which is her ass. And so when they click on the picture and here come Granny pulling down the pants and showing that wolf pussy, these guys will still stay and watch the show. They'll still stay and watch the show. And somebody might send a $5, thank you. Somebody might even send $10. Thanks, Granny, for showing the wolf pussy. Somebody might even tell Grandma, well, turn around and shave the wolf pussy. I'll give you $50 for that, just to see you shave the wolf pussy. So don't tell me what guys will not look at and pay for. Women are always going to get money for their body. It does not surprise me at all what guys will pay to see. I bet you right now, if I said after this live stream, head on over to my private Patreon or private Instagram or private OnlyFans, go to Faith's private OnlyFans page, and I give you the page number. And I say, okay, Faith gonna put on a private show. I'm about to bear it all. You're gonna see these nipples shaped like five, what they call it, the 5-cent nickel pieces. You're gonna see these big old 5-cent nipples. You're gonna get to look at me play with these areolas. You get to watch me sucking on a banana, or I'm going to ride a dildo. I bet you there will be a full house. It's all I got to do is put some clickbait picture in the title with a nice little thumbnail, and niggas will be in there. They will be in there sending me thank yous, monetary thank yous, and everything. It ain't hard. That ain't hard to do. But you know what's hard to do? It's hard to go through pre-med classes and go through clinicals and learn science and statistics and all these other undergrad classes before you get to your pre-med classes. And it's hard to go through pre-med classes where you're going through zoology and anthropology and all these different courses where you're actually dissecting the human body. That's hard. It's hard to learn how to drive backwards. When you become a truck driver, you learn that everything is about going backwards. Right is left and left is right. It's hard to alley dock a 53-foot trailer into a tight alley dock from a street that's busy with a bunch of cars, and you ain't got nobody spotting you on your blind side. It's hard to learn a skill. So we, in the lower echelon of society, we do what comes easy. Fire up that live stream, pull them pants down, and shake your moneymaker. That's easy. It's easy and it's cheap. Sometimes you have a good day where you get a lot of thank yous in the form of cash, and the site that you use takes about 40% to 50% of that. So you didn't just pulled your pants down and shook your money maker, and somebody got a big chunk of your earnings after you did it. Thank you, Incognito. He says, shout out to the lady truck drivers. I love it. Ken Hyatt said it's hard to work as a female construction worker in a male dominated profession. I can imagine, because I'm in a male dominated profession, and oh my God, the aggressions, the microaggressions, people being sarcastic, the sexual harassment. So I know it's difficult. So long story short, I'm 2.5 hours in. I didn't really mean to go this long. Thank you so much, Incognito, for the $5 super sticker. And I'm going to go ahead and give you your applause for supporting the platform. Thank you so much to everybody that supports this platform. This has been a great conversation. I came in here, I didn't really have a topic on the top of my head. This is just some morning chit chat. And I wanted to just, sit down and commune with the people and, just tell you things that are on my mind. Woman's Fear, she said, Faith, you held your own yesterday. Yeah, like I said, I can definitely stand up for myself and hold my own. I'm perfectly capable of doing that. And I want everybody to know that, being a lady does not mean that you take anybody's mess. Now, I do hate that I lost my cool in that situation because I was not intending to lose my cool. I was intending to go in there and set some things straight, but I wanted to, maintain my cool. And I hate that towards the end I lost it, because I don't know if you guys play back that situation. I tried to leave 3 times before it really got to that point, but I kept getting pulled back in. I kept allowing myself to get pulled back in, and I hold the L for that. I should have took my exit and just, let it die. I said what I had come to say, and I should have just jumped off. So, I hold the L in that situation. Oh, thank you, Alpha Omega. He said this video is the first time I've learned something in a long time. I appreciate it. No, there are a lot of people. I'm not going to bother talking to him anymore. He can do however many live streams that he wants on behalf of the women that he chooses to protect, even in their wrongdoing. And I've said what I've had to say to him. But guys, it's been 2.5 hours. I try not to be too long on these videos, but this was like such a good talk with you guys. I love interacting with you guys. I love coming here, having these talks with you, and being around people of like-mindedness. You guys are so intelligent. So you make it very easy. I love the feedback that I get from each and every one of you. But with that, I'm going to say thank you so much to everybody that came in and supported the stream, my early birds, my day ones like Can't Hide, my friends like D. Darrell and Mahogany Roots, sisters like Sister George, Woman Sphere, Concrete Rose, Kareem the Trucker. He's a newbie, all the new people that has come in to support. I really appreciate every single one of you. Diamonds and Pearl, Jim Jewel, what's up? Every single one of you helped to make this program a success. You know, when you have a lot of people that engage in the conversation, that's how the conversation is able to be had. So with that, kudos to all of you. You are all a better class of people, and I'm proud to know you. So with that, I gotta say, I love you guys. Peace. I'm out of here.